So this is the wrap-up section of this match weekend's league matches across from the English Premier League to the Spanish La Liga and also the Italian Serie A and the German Bundesliga. So this is the wrap-up section of today's fixture. That's Sunday, right after this afternoon to this evening. We've gathered everything, and then Monster Messi, of course, we are bringing to your doorstep all the fixtures that happened today, Sunday. Now let's go straight forward to the English Premier League. Of course, we had Crystal Palace playing against Leeds United. It ended in a goalless draw at the Seahawks Park in the English Premier League. And also Manchester United also hosted Aston Villa at Old Trafford, and then it ended at 3-1 in favor of Manchester United. They scored 3 and Aston Villa scored 1. So the 3 goals were scored by Casemiro. We have Benjamin Sesko and Matheus Cunha, and then the 1 goal was scored for Aston Villa by a man called Barkley. Now let's go straight to Nottingham Forest versus Fulham. That was played at the City Grounds. That is the stadium name for Nottingham Forest, and then also ended in a goalless draw. No game came in that game. Now let's go to Anfield. It also ended in a 1-1 draw at the Anfield Stadium. That is Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspur. It ended in a 1-1 draw. Now let's go straight to the Spanish La Liga. And the first match was Mallorca versus Espanyol. Mallorca 2, Espanyol 0. At the Estadio Mallorca Son Mude. Now let's go straight to Spotify Camp Nou, of which Barcelona scored 5. Sevilla scored 2. Rafinha had hat-trick, that's 3 goals, and then Joao Cancelo added 1. Dani Olmo also added 1 goal to it. Now let's go straight to the Estadio Benito Villamarín. That is Real Betis versus Celta Vigo. It also ended in a 1-1 draw. Both teams scored their very goals in that game. And then Real Sociedad versus Osasuna at the Real Arena. Sociedad 3, Osasuna 1. Let's go straight to Italy. Yes, that's the Italian Serie A. Verona 0, Girona 2. Pisa 3, Cagliari 1. Sassuolo 0, Bologna 1. Como, and then also Roma engaged in this afternoon's game at the Stadio Giuseppe Signaglari. Como 2, Roma 1. And then the Stadio Olimpico, that was the big match for Italian Serie A. That's today, Sunday, the very big match that happened in Italy. That's the Stadio Olimpico at Lazio. So Lazio 1, AC Milan 0. That was the big match in this Sunday's fixtures. Now let's go straight to Germany. That's the German Bundesliga. Werder Bremen 0, Mainz 5, 2. Freiburg 0, Union Berlin 1, Stuttgart 1, Leipzig 0. A very shocking result over there. Stuttgart 1, Leipzig 0. Now let's go to the French League 1. So Strasbourg 0, Paris FC also 0, Le Havre 0, Lyon 0, Metz 3, Toulouse 4. Very massive game over there. That was 7 goals that happened in that match. And then the last for the day, that was in French League. That was France. That was Rennes 1, Lille 2. Now, the very game I want us to discuss about is in the Spanish La Liga. That is Barcelona versus Sevilla. A very massive performance from Joao Cancelo. Remember, he was being loaned and then from City to Barca. He came to Barcelona, he played a little, and then he went back to Saudi Arabia. And then Barca have later signed him. And then he's playing very well at the number 3 position. Hansi Flick decided to do rotation today. Yes, because of the game he's having against Newcastle in the Champions League this week, of which I will bring you much details in that match. We will bring you live updates, the lineup, so on and so forth in that game. And a very massive performance from the captain of the team. That was today's captain. That's Rafinha Diaz-Beloli. He had a hat-trick in today's game. A very massive performance from Rafinha. Dani Olmo, the Olmo time, also had his goal. And then Joao Cancelo also had a goal today. Lamine Yamal was on the bench. He came into the field around 65th, getting to the 70th minute to come and have a playtime a little. The coach decided to bench him because of this week they are coming to start Champions League, of which a very big one. Remember, they went to Newcastle's home, that's the St. James Park, and then they had a draw. That was 1-1. So Barcelona are going all for all in this week's Champions League second leg. They have to win, and of course, I know they win. But let's see, football is a game, anything can happen. Now let's go straight to England and then check at Anfield. That's a game between Liverpool and then Tottenham. Tottenham have not been in a good form this season. No, in the Champions League, they are facing difficulties. Same applies to the league. Now, they managed to go to Anfield and then they had a draw. That's 1-1 in Anfield. They had to pick a point because as I'm talking to you, Tottenham are just a 1 point ahead of relegation. And then we all not believe it if Tottenham goes to relegation. A very big news, of course. Liverpool are also having ups and downs in this league or this 2025-26 getting to 27 season. They're having ups and downs, of which I know they have missed Pep or Jordan Klopp. They have missed Jordan Klopp. For now, since City drew in their weekend game, I think there is no doubt for Arsenal winning the league. Of course, everybody is clear. But let's see. Although they are on the top of the table and then City are behind them, anything can happen. But I'm hoping that as at now, Arsenal are the favorite to win this season's EPL. Yeah, they are the favorite upon the signings they've made, bringing in Eze, Gyökeres, and then some rotations. Mikel Arteta has been doing in the team, has pushed forward, way forward well, for these boys. And I think kudos to them because in the Champions League group stages, they played all their games, winning every game in the Champions League group stages. And then this just last week, they went to Bayern, that was the Bay Arena, and then they had a draw. Of course, they'll be playing in Emirates, that was this week, for the second leg Champions League. And of course, you know what will happen when we go to Emirates Stadium. Let's see what will happen. I'll bring you live updates, the lineup that both teams will be bringing on board, and then let's see. So, of course, this is your number one sports channel, that is Monster Messi. Please, if today is the first time you're seeing our video, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.